Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video we are going to be doing my June reset. Alright, before you get into anything bookish, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below, as well as tell me in the comments what are a few goals you have for yourself this summer. Alrighty, so once again, we're going to be doing a reset reading vlog, because honestly, I do feel like I get the most done in these. I don't know why. I guess filming helps hold me accountable more, but on top of that, it's also going to be partially a reading vlog because I need to get some reading done. Particularly for Galactathon, we are doing a little weekend readathon where once again, every page we read is a point. And my team is in the last place, so I'm trying to get as many pages read as possible. I did read about 130 pages yesterday, didn't read more because we had my niece's birthday and it wiped me out. But it's Sunday morning. I have made some delicious breakfast, apricot and some toast, some avocado toast, some peanut butter toast, and coffee. Watching some Dance Moms because I've fallen back down this hole. If you saw my little reel that I filmed, that was literally inspired by the fact that I'm once again watching this stupid show. For today, when it comes to listening to audiobooks, I will be listening to Lilith by Nikki Marmee. This is the pick for the Story Continued book club, and obviously is sort of a retelling of the Jewish mythology regarding Adam's first wife, Lilith. That's pretty much all I know about it, and I think it has some like feminist themes going on. I've heard a lot of positive things from the people who have read it. It's just I haven't heard a lot of people actually read it. It's actually not too long, it looks like, and I did go ahead and download the audiobook on Audible because I forgot to cancel my subscription. I got like 3 months for free and then forgot to cancel it after that third month, so I had one more choice and I can't find this audiobook anywhere else, so may as well. Physically, we're gonna do Soul Eater Volume 12 by 𝗖cie viņš𝘁. On top of that though, naturally, it's a reset vlog, meaning I have some cleaning to do. I actually don't really have a lot of video planning. I have been so overboard when it comes to video planning lately that I probably have everything laid out for the next 2 to 3 months. That's how my brain works. But I do also need to swing by the library, drop some books off, pick up books for June. So that's our plan for today. Can't wait to get started, but first I am gonna finish eating my breakfast and watching my episode of Pittsburgh mothers screaming at each other. All right, so it's about 2:30. I finished out breakfast, went ahead and got the sheets off the bed, have those washing. Then I worked on my computer a little bit. I posted the reviews that I needed to that correlated with my video from Friday. Finally tried on some jeans that I had bought and just kept putting off. So thankfully one of them worked, the other did not, unfortunately. Should I probably return those today? Yes. Am I going to? Probably not. And then it's about 2:30 now, meaning the library just opened up. So I am going to go run and drop off some books. But I did want to tell y'all that I finished out volume 12 of Soul Eater, and I am liking this. I'm so far into the story now that I don't even really know how to talk about it apart from like character growth that we're seeing. I love the development of Maka and Soul's relationship. It's so freaking cute. There's also some side characters, Ox and Kem, that have a little bit of a sort of tension going on there, especially because like Kim isn't really a big fan of Ox. You know, he's also smitten with her and will do anything to protect her at times, which is very cute, I will admit. Plot is definitely getting into like some of the heavier stuff because we're going up against the big bad. There's a unexpected ally that is joining them. This was 192 pages, so fantastic. I think I'm gonna go ahead and grab another few volumes whenever I'm at the library just to have those on hand because they're very easy to work in between books. Then I did start into the audio of Lilith, and thus far I've hit the point now where Lilith has been cast out of Eden. I do think it's interesting how the author is presenting the world here because there's the Garden of Eden, obviously with Adam and Eve now that Lilith's been cast out, but then there's other people and they worship different gods, and sort of how they're described seems reminiscent to like ancient Egyptian religion, which is really cool, plus would sort of make sense like geographically speaking. Plus another thing I did think was interesting is Lilith herself is actually the snake also. I don't know if that's true to Jewish folklore or not, but that was cool. And then there was also a female goddess who ruled alongside Yahweh, but she has sort of been not cast out, but almost forgotten, basically, even though at this point we still just have Adam and Eve. On one hand, Lilith helped Eve because, you know, she was another woman who was being downtrodden and taken advantage of by Adam because of her unawareness. But then at the same time, she also sort of resents Eve. I guess it's one of those situations where like Lilith was so much more aware of what she lost, whereas Eve was so used to having the life of being subservient to Adam, of him being the superior one, that for her, even though now she's aware that the world is not quite what they thought, her perception of the loss wasn't as extreme as Lilith's is. So I did think that was kind of an interesting parallel to see between the two, as they were both wives of Adam, but like their situations were quite different. So I am liking this so far. The writing is kind of lyrical at points, but not consistently, but there has been a few lines that I do enjoy. So I'm going to continue listening to the audiobook of this while I'm driving over to the library, and then let's go pick up some books. All right. So we have actually gotten a lot done. I have officially finished out the bedding. I'm on my last load of laundry for today, washing the kitchen towels. So I'm currently doing dishes and I have to wait until those finish out before I can start on dinner, which on that note means I have some extra reading time to sit down and read physically. So I think I'm gonna start into The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields, which I've just been first off really looking forward to and also in the mood for. So this is a bit of a mood read, but it will fulfill a bonus prompt for Galactathon, which works out perfectly, and it's a romance book, so I do tend to read those fairly quickly. I do have a video planned for this sometime in October, so I probably won't have thoughts shared for quite some time, honestly. But I have gotten a fair amount of Lilith read. I'm currently at page 140, and so it's very interesting. From what I do know, the author does seem to be mixing the stories from the Jewish text and the Bible. So there are aspects of the story that are more true to the original Jewish folklore elements, obviously, that Lilith's story comes from, but then there are those bits that are definitely from the Bible directly, just with Lilith kind of tossed into them. How do I put it? I'm not really invested in Lilith as a character. I love the idea of her as a character to root for. I am having a hard time connecting. I mean, there's a lot of time covered in this book. There's also just certain elements of the world that I don't personally know. I'm not sure if the author is drawing it from Judaism, or I don't think it's from Christianity. I'm pretty well versed in that. It might be from Islam, or perhaps like an ancient Egyptian religion, or perhaps other ancient religions that may not be as mainstreamed as Judaism or Christianity. So those little elements have me interested to do more research. There are some quotes here that I do enjoy because they're just so staunchly feminist, encouraging women to take back their power. I do like how often the author pulls back to the fact that a lot of these women aren't really acknowledged in the original texts. But it also is it's a little too on the nose. I don't know, like right now I'm just feeling very okay about this. I like the idea of it, but so far the execution is not really hitting for me. It's fine, but it's not something I'm gonna love. But as I said, I'm gonna take some time while the dishes finish out and start into the Honey Witch, which is going to be hopefully a lot more positive, seeing as how it's a queer, cozy romance with fantasy elements. I'm very excited. All right, so for our final update of the night, I basically got everything off of my list. I think the only thing I didn't was filming my June TBR reel, which honestly I can deal with. That's fine. It's not super urgent. But I got all of my stuff done that I needed to today. I made dinner, which was quite tasty, though I did burn my tongue. Unfortunately, I did decide that I'm gonna DNF Lilith. I hit that 140 page mark where I talked to y'all last time, and honestly, I had no interest in continuing it. I went to start up my audiobook again and just realized I didn't want to. I didn't care enough. I was not invested enough to keep reading. Thankfully, I had just gotten the audiobook from Audible. So Paige actually told me there is a way to return a audiobook on Audible, thankfully, seeing as how I didn't even quite get to the halfway point of this. It would have just been really unfortunate if I had to waste an Audible credit for that. So thankfully, at least I can get that back. But 140 pages read, at least that's 140 points for my team, even if unfortunately this didn't work out better for me. I did do a little bit more research, and it does seem that certain elements of the story were pulling from other ancient religions. So I do think it's interesting that the author was tying in different elements from different creation myths together for this story. But I also just don't really know if I liked how it was working out. This wasn't working for me, but I did start into the Honey Witch, and I am liking this so far. It's very cute. I am 50 pages in, and thus far I'm really enjoying our main character Marigold. Unfortunately, just has had no luck when debuting into society. She had one romance with a man that unfortunately imploded, and since then she has been labeled as this weird woman who will probably never get married, and that absolutely pains her mother. But in reality, Marigold's totally fine with that. She is much more interested in living the life she wants to live. When her grandmother comes and offers for her to move to where her grandmother currently lives and take over as the Honey Witch of these lands, she jumps at the opportunity, and that's what's happening right now. I do think it's interesting that, kind of reminiscent to the movie version of Practical Magic, in their family line, there's a curse where they can either have their power or they can have love. You cannot have both. And technically speaking, I picked this up for the romance, so that is interesting. I can't wait to see how the author handles it. But right now, I'm loving it for the vibes. It's really perfect for springtime. I definitely could liken the cozy atmosphere to Legends and Lattes, but also Old Flames and New Fortunes, I think, did this as well, where it just is so quintessentially spring with all of the flowers and all the symbolism there. Beautiful landscapes that the author creates with her writing. I'm really digging this. So on that note, I'm gonna continue reading this tonight, but that is it for this video though. Thank you so much for coming to my channel today, y'all. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave me a bee emoji in the comments. I have all my socials as well as a few ways you can support me linked in the description. I come out videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!